All my ladies, all my ladies.
Can you tell us a little bit about your heritage? Maybe speak to your name, your parents, your first language, and so on.
My name is Saron and Joy. It's obviously Ethiopian. My parents were born in Ethiopia and raised there. I was born in Ethiopia, but I came here when I was 3 years old. So I've been here for a while. My first name means desert flower, and my last name, Fantahun, is my dad's first name, and that's how it gets passed down in Ethiopian culture. And the language we speak, and the main language in Ethiopia, is Amharic.
My name is Chukwudumebi Joy Omenyi. Chukwudumebi is a Nigerian name. Both of my parents are Nigerian. My father came here both of my parents came here in the 1980s. My name means God abides with me. My last name, Omenyi, means man of many friends. And my middle name is my grandmother's first name. Languages, the first language I ever spoke was Igbo. It's one of the languages spoken in Nigeria. My parents are both Igbo, I'm Igbo. And yeah. Oh, I was born here. I was born in Maryland, and I grew up here. And I've spent most of my life here. I was in Nigeria for a couple years, but I spent most of my life in America.
In what ways do your parents preserve their culture here in the United States? How do your parents pass down their traditions and culture to you?
My parents, I would say that one of the ways they retain their culture is, one of the biggest ways they retain their culture is they join these associations. One of the associations that when Nigerians first started coming here, they established and formed these associations that essentially are their links back to Nigeria and back to their respective locales and states and villages and stuff. So basically what they do is they come together, they raise money, they talk politics, they do various things that serve to unify them, serve to pass down culture to their children, serve to engage with, whether they're putting together money for a school, putting money together for new roads in their towns, whatever they do. And they have parties, they do whatever. Those people become like their networks, their friends, their doctors, their dentists, their lawyers, things like that. And then their children become all our friends, all our best friends. So through those are probably the biggest ways that my parents retain their cultures, and how they pass it down to us, just through lessons that we learn in the house, whether it's never hand someone something with their left hand, or always, greet your elders in the morning, or always, all these various lessons that they teach you that they learned when they were growing up. Because obviously they recognize that you can't reproduce an entire culture here in America, but they do what they can to give us those little lessons while we're growing up here in America.
So my parents, do everything that they can to make sure that we know we're Ethiopian. As far as family gatherings, we always eat Ethiopian food no matter what. We celebrate holidays twice if we have to. And besides that, they always, they'll play Ethiopian music in the car when they're driving us to school when we were younger. They'll make sure we're surrounded by family, or just so we'll be surrounded by Ethiopian people. And, they just instill different values in us, like Joy was talking about.
How has growing up in an African household shaped your identity?
For me, I was born in America. I know that I'll always be American. Saron just called me fake, but that's okay. But in terms of my ethnicity, I know I'm black. My parents are black. My grandparents are black. That's never going to change. My race, I always classify myself as black. In terms of my ethnicity, I'll call myself Nigerian. When asked to identify myself, and I've only been asked to identify myself when someone has seen my name or my last name, because you would never ask me to identify myself and you just look at me because you know I'm black. But when you see my name, or you see my mother wearing traditional clothes or something of that nature, that will prompt you to ask me where I come from. I'll tell you that I'm Nigerian. And a lot of that comes from my parents. When I was younger, someone would ask me that same question, and I'll tell them, oh, my parents are from Nigeria. And when my parents would hear that, they will ask me, what do you mean your parents from Nigeria? You're from Nigeria too. So from that point on, that's when I realized that like that's where my roots are, like that's where I'm from. That's where I would bury my parents, like that's where I would get married. Like, so I always knew that's where my roots are, like that's home. I'm a black person from Nigeria, born in America.
So both of you joined the Black Student Alliance in the spring of your first year, and you're now both currently on BSA's exec board. Has being involved in BSA called your identity into question in any ways?
BSA was my way of being involved in my culture in a certain type of way. And I'm definitely grateful for everything that BSA has taught me, every relationship I've formed through BSA. It's a good organization.
People have called into question. For the most part, it's kind of been in a joking manner. At least that's how they've portrayed it. I don't know how they really feel. But I do know that because of my position, I do know that certain people have been more open and more comfortable to come to me, whether they want to seek co-sponsorships, whether they want to seek money, or whether they just want to bounce ideas off of me. That has been beneficial to myself and to other organizations like OAS or ESU or ASI or any type of organizations whose primary concern is with African countries or people of African descent. So I think it has been a beneficial relationship in that sense. Black is black. Like it doesn't matter if black is black.
That just calls for the distinction between ethnicity and race. Ethnicity, yes, we're Ethiopian American or Nigerian American, but my race, my skin color is black. So I can claim it.
Thank you for your time.